Sponsorem programu jest Orlen, sponsor strategiczny polskiej piłki ręcznej.
So coach, you have been working with young people for many years and you are known for your commitment to developing talents in Denmark and beyond. Our first question is how you define talent. Is it an innate predisposition or rather an ability to learn and adapt?
If I should choose between the two things, then it's an ability to learn. Of course, if you have some skills, some genes that are good, then it will make you take a step ahead of the others. But if you don't work, then they will catch you and they will become better. And then I often say, when people ask me what is talent, then I say talent is what you do when you are not asked to. Which means that everything, all the choices you make when you are outside the court will define how good you will be.
As I mentioned at the beginning of our interview, you have worked with many generations of players. How do you adapt your working methods to generational differences, especially since we are in the age of social media and pressure to perform?
Yeah, that's a very good question. First of all, and I think you can talk about talent development before social media and after social media, because it has been a game changer, especially for the young people who, as you mentioned, are under a much higher pressure than they were earlier. It is much easier now to compare you with other athletes and see what others do, because everything is broad and you can see it. It's so transparent, and I used to say that comparison is poison for development, because you need to work with what you are able to do on your own, and you try to stay in your own box and not look too much in other directions, because you are you and you have your preferences, and you need to work from what you got and not compare with others.
Is there a common denominator for all the top players you have worked with? What mental characteristics or habits most often distinguish them from the rest of the players?
Resilience, I think, is very important, because every player, no matter who we'll talk about, they have had periods where it was tough. They could be injured, they could lose motivation, they could sit a lot on the bench. So resilience, the ability to stay in the hard periods without losing motivation, is very important. And then I see some other thing that is a general characteristic, that is they have fun training. They like to play with the ball, they like to improve, and in a sport where a lot of the best players are above 30 years old, I think that you must never lose the fun in the game, and you must never lose playing, because playing with the ball, the best toy in the world, is after all the main thing.
What three elements are key for young talent to become a world-class player?
That's a big question. The first thing that comes into mind is patience, because it takes time to be good in handball. The physical demands are getting bigger and bigger, so it's quite rare that the young players can step from youth team into senior team. It will take time. So patience is very important. Then it's very important to avoid injury, because if you should have a continuously development, then it's good that you can practice almost every day. Of course, have some breaks, but to train a lot without having setbacks. So that would be very important too. Then I think you need to be able to work on your own and with yourself. So of course, when you are a child, your parents help you, the coaches help you, but in the end you are on your own. So you need to be able to be on your own and work on your own and have the ability to work in teams with very, very high demands and competition level that is very hard. So that would be the third thing.
Okay. What are the biggest mistakes you see in work of coaches that are working with young players? What should they avoid in order not to kill a player's potential?
The main thing is to remind yourself that you are there for the players, not the other way around. So it shouldn't be the players that are promoting your career, but you should wait for the acknowledge from the players and from the surroundings, from the club, if you work good with players over a lot of years. So that from the coach's point of view, I think could be the biggest mistakes. Then I see that I see a lot of coaches going from technical to tactical training way too early and way too much. In the end, it is the individual competences that decides the game and not what you play. You can play different moves, different systems, but if you don't have the individual competences in both ends, then you will never win.
Okay. What made you decide to start working with Wywiad Handball Academy? Is this a project that stands out from other initiatives in Europe?
I'm a curious person, and I have been making lectures in many countries, and I knew some of the guys before, so I thought it could be very, very interesting when they asked, they wanted 2 fresh eyes on the work with the academy. I thought that could be very interesting. I hope that I can contribute with my experience and my know-how and then bring new ideas. But being here for 3 days, I can also feel that I also learn something, and it's important, no matter if you're 23 or 33, 53, as some coaches, that you are still curious and you want to learn. So I hope that it will be a win-win.
Okay, what are your first impressions after 3 days of joint training with the coaches and young players of Orlen Wisła Płock?
What I think is my most visible impression is the commitment, both from players and from the coaches. I feel and I come to an environment that even though I'm not going to be here very much, that they are very eager to learn, and the players are very dedicated and disciplined, and they are really listening. They are trying to do their best, and the coaches, when we have broken the ice the first day, begins to ask questions, and we have a lot of good discussions regarding talent development. So I think the ambition to improve is what I see as the most important thing at first sight.
Okay, and have you already spotted any talent?
Yeah, I have spotted talent both within the squad of the players and in the squad of the coaches, because coaches are the key for development, and if you should have a good talent development, the coaches are the key. So I of course see a lot of good young players, but also have to say that with my experience, I don't know who will become the best. Time will show. But I think it's also interesting to look at the coaches and look for the potential there, because good coaches will develop good players.
What exactly will your role at the Wisła Handball Academy be? Can we expect the implementation of elements of the Danish and also Norwegian training system?
Yes, because that is my background, so that's my experience, and also what I have been asked for. And I think that that it's no coincidence that when you take someone from Scandinavia, he or she will come with a Scandinavian philosophy. So yes, I will try to take the best from what I have learned and try to implement it the times that I'm here.
Norway, Denmark, Poland. 3 different sporting cultures. What are the biggest differences you see in the approach of youth training in these countries?
I think the tradition in Poland regarding the schools, the sports schools, is different in Scandinavian countries. The clubs are having much more responsibility for the development, while here the schools are taking more responsibility. So I think the structure of the clubs and the schools must be the biggest difference.
Okay, and last question. The Polish national team is far from repeating its successes of the past. In your opinion, is working from the ground up, as we do, in Wisła Handball Academy, the best way to return to the top European handball level?
Yes, things takes a time. So players need patience, coaches need patience, federations need patience, because it will take a time. But the things that you will harvest as you work. So you need to be very good and very careful with the material of the players. But coaches are not magicians. So we need to take time, and even though you have a good structure and you work good for years, it is not the same as you have success. That's also one of the keys into talent development. You can do, I know from clubs and federations who are doing a very good job and has done it for years, and they are improving, but from improving to get into the very top, that is not the same, I'm afraid to say.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Sponsorem programu był Orlen, sponsor strategiczny polskiej piłki ręcznej.